Paul Finebaum, not a friend of the show, to be clear. Normally we call people friends of the program. Paul Finebaum, not a friend of the program. Ohio State, not Michigan, can compete with Georgia in 2023. Paul Finebaum's takes are entirely predicated on the year before. If you've watched his takes, it's all lazy takes about the year before. He's always big on Alabama because of what they did the year before, the 2 years before that. And so he watches the playoff game. He doesn't like Jim Harbaugh. We know he doesn't like Jim Harbaugh. And he takes any opportunity to rag on Jim Harbaugh. And so he says Ohio State can compete with Georgia in 2023. Now, I'm not arguing that Ohio State doesn't have top-tier wide receiver talent, but they have a massive quarterback question, they have a massive O-line question, and they have a massive secondary question, and that's not even talking about the organization of the running backs and how they're going to do that. So basically what we're going to do is just go through the path to winning the national championship. The path to winning the national championship is as follows. We actually did a whole thing on Monday's show, and we talked about with Lexi, Go Blue Lexi, predictions for the regular season. We both predicted 12-0, and we really only see 2 games that are difficult, right? One game being Penn State, one game being Ohio State. There's a few trap game potentials. We know this. We know that Nebraska could be a problem and some others. But unfortunately, for them, that's really pretty much it. I mean, I think that 12-0 is extremely possible and likely. So then you get to the Big Ten Championship. Big Ten Championship, maybe Iowa, maybe Wisconsin. Those are the top 2 in the running right now. While some Iowa fans think Cade can beat JJ, or Cade's team can beat JJ's team, I don't really see it. So I think that you'll be heading 13-0 and an obvious playoff berth alongside Georgia, who also has a similar easy path to getting to 13-0, or at least 12-1. Maybe they face Alabama in the SEC championship or somebody who gives them a really hard time. So we also have to remember one thing. Blake Corum came back for a reason. He has said, if we don't win the national championship, it is not a successful season in my eyes. So because of that, I think that you just have to take that into consideration. He could have gone to the NFL, gone 2nd or 3rd round, and he decided not to, right? He decided to come back to the University of Michigan. And so you add that along with the O-line conversation that we had in the beginning, along with everything else, the defense that's coming back, 81% returning production. They need to win a playoff game, but they're doing drills every week called Beat Georgia drills. Those aren't really just beat Georgia. They're beat insert postseason team here. And Ohio State fans who want to rag on that, guess what? You guys did the same thing. That's right. Ohio State, for years under Urban Meyer, looked at Alabama as the gold standard and practiced with an eye towards being as good as Alabama and beating Alabama in the playoffs. There was also, throughout the whole season, drills on beating Clemson because they thought that they'd face Clemson. So Michigan is not the only team to do this, to be very clear. Just in case my power goes out, I'm allowing myself in. So the bottom line is here, Michigan has all the tools that they need to get this done. Jim Harbaugh has to put together a top tier game plan. And I'm sorry, but Georgia's probably going to be the final boss. So, with all that said, I think Michigan is very likely. And we even had an Ohio State fan earlier say, I think it's going to be Michigan and Georgia in the final. Thanks, Stu Bedazzle. We appreciate that. That is exactly what it is, you idiot. Like, that is exactly what it is. And if you haven't been paying attention and you haven't been, and I never say that on air, and everybody here knows that. Okay. It's not just beat Georgia, it's beat any postseason team. It's beat USC. It's beat if TCU comes back. It's beat, I don't know, Alabama. It's beat anybody. That's what the drills are. They're looking at the SEC teams. I know it's literally the name. It's called marketing. It's called motivating your team. Have you ever motivated anybody in your life? Okay. That's what it is. It's called motivation. We know that Georgia is probably going to be in the playoff and is probably going to be in the final two. So they are likely to be the postseason team. Steven, Ohio State has no defense or QB. I wouldn't go that far. Their defensive line is very good. JTT is very good. And if they pick Devin Brown, that could be a real issue. He is a dual threat. I just got done playing John Plays the Season with the Ohio State game. And I hate to say it, but everyone in this room is going to hate me when they watch this game for different reasons. And that's all I'm going to say on the topic. That's all I'm going to say on it.